Alright, we're back. We're in Breckenberry.
Hey.
Oh, we got a name.
Gods keep you.
Okay, what are you so busy with? Soul attachment. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean about making them stick? She brushed a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's a separation that leads to the whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understood how to reattach souls, we could end Wadewen's legacy. Maybe even conquer death. That's the theory, anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put into practice. What do you need? There's a manuscript called Theorems of Pangram. It contains research from Pangram's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumored to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Pangram's work is considered to be one of the more, daring animancy texts. Not something generally circulated among novices, or easy to get a hold of. I wonder if we might have a peek at it. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships Veil, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. And since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kind of information that would be useful to me. Sorry to hear that. Look at me spilling my troubles. It's kind of you to listen, but I really should get back to work. The Hollowborn. Such as the theories. Pangram was an animancer working in the Darwood. He had some interesting theories about essence and some rather innovative techniques for studying it. He was able to reattach souls to bodies after death, although he wasn't able to prevent his patients from degenerating. He was controversial, to say the least, but many are starting to realize that he was merely ahead of his time. What do you mean by degenerating? Nidlin twists her hands together. Well, there seems to be a tiny problem with reattaching the souls after death. The bodies will animate, and may even retain memories and personality, but they develop a hunger for flesh. Living, soul-infused flesh. Without it, they start to devolve, decaying mentally and physically. If the process goes too far, which it eventually does, they become mindless corpses, attacking anything that moves. We haven't figured out a way to avoid that. That is, unfortunate. That sounds dangerous. Anyway, because there's very little Pangram's research is in circulation. He's only thought to have died several years ago, and the Hall of Revealed Mysteries owns the only copy of his work. I would love to have met him. Why it doesn't grow. Okay, I already went there. Where are the Elder Archives?
Hey.
Alright, so if we give this lady the text, is she gonna become a dangerous necromancer? Because that seems to be where this is going. Let's see. Give me a second. Boom. Boom. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Sanitarium guard. Verna. Animus or noble.
Hey.
Warden. Okay.
Hey.
Well, you have a name. You must be important. No idea. Okay, never mind. Oh wait, I can get some books. What is this? The Midwife's Memoirs. Yo, we're just gonna take their books?
Hey.
Hell yeah. Yo, it's time to ransack the library.
Of course.
Alright, I'm just gonna take all your books. Somebody went to trouble writing all that lore, so why not? Alright, oh, there's a downstairs? Well, it makes sense. It's a sanatorium. The dark and foreboding. What is going on? Oh.
Hail, traveler.
Look for an expert on awakenings. That would be me. Though the lack of research subjects made me an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It's a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck, I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gerald, who is it? I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You aliens are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgraded him to a cell. Again, I jest. It's creeping me out. So I need you to sit here. She takes Adolf by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax. She's basically a psychiatrist. Try to relax, but don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. You must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Alof's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chamber tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Adro lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting. I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Seems suitably complicated. Does that mean we'll get to talk to Izomir more? I like that lady. Something personal. There's nothing to talk about your parents. As you speak to Alof, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the midst of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. Mother is away most of the time with the Danes family, but I always know that she is coming home. Father's bottles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fists of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her hammock to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. That's good. I'm starting to see something. Tell me about that time you awakened. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little when she is around. He is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. First blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen, the next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Damn, this is dark. Very, very dark. Still hauled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. What did show? He's hypnotized himself with his old memory. You gotta bring him out of it. Quickly, I almost have it. Safe with me. Everything's fine. I lost eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's never safe when I have upon him. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading, congealing. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. Brought to your cracking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. Oh, she's all about the adventure. That's different. Alfredo, we have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob to her scope. Now try to get 2 of them talking. Why you're awakened. Why, he's the one needing me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. I can now see 2 separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. Go on. What's it about seeing space? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair too. You should ask what I did, that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I broke it in 3 places. So, is this a second personality? Let him fight back. can't see. I was awaking. Now I'm stuck with you. And damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scooper. Finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Izomir's essence through the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seems to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left rib cage. That's right around the spleen, which of course means she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Alof blinks back at you, in the midst of his perturbation. You're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horse shit. Black bile, is it? They certainly spat their share. Kana studies Alof dubiously. It is a simpler explanation than I expected, all things considered. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? You're close. I think Izumi's appearance are related to potential sources of trouble for Alof. Belisage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Alof. I suppose that could be true. Shouts on them. I'll have to check this against other research. Well and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belisage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making grand show concentration. However, you catch her stealing glance at you over the pages. She did you a favor by dealing with her father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. If you had to listen to her half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that. Got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Yang. He does not look at Belisage. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her skill. Well, I hope this has been useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Riverwell. Venture Alof. His grimace melts in a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the rightwise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope. But Alof is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes widen for him. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. You get your explanation, she gets it. I'm not gonna help you explain this one, Scholar Boy.
Hey.
Yeah, well, there's no, what was it, the contract? The disclosure contract?
Hey.
What the hell's this? Modred, an animator. Alright.
Hail, traveler.
Does the name Helig mean anything to you? Helig? He was, he is, a colleague of mine. He was primarily a necromancer, but he was involved in animancy too. He worked at the Sanitarium for several years. I dare say everyone here has heard of him. Left his post recently. I believe he was seeking new opportunities in the alien republics. The advances they're making in animancy really are quite remarkable. Surely you've heard. Perhaps you haven't. I've heard it differently. What are you insinuating? This is your idea of a joke. I assure it's in very good taste. So you didn't sink a blade into his chest and dump him in the catacombs? He'll be relieved to hear of it. How could? He sighs and runs a hand over his hair. Very well. Yes, I killed him. I killed that beast because nobody else had the spine for it. He was a madman. Years of perverse experiments, twisting healthy souls, torturing famished souls. And for what? He flayed the essence from Glenfaffin indigents for his amusement. He waves down the hall. If the public had known half of his deeds, they'd have razed this place to the ground. He used the sanitarium to disguise his own sick proclivities. He brought shame on all of us, and put the entire discipline at risk. I regret nothing. Anyway, you know the whole grisly story now. Helig's soul returned to his corpse through sinister magic. He wants revenge. No doubt. He spreads his hands wide. But now you understand why I killed him. Someone had to. If he sent you, I only hope I can convince you to return and slay him once and for all. Here's something I need. You consider a deal with that monster? If what I told you hasn't swayed you, I doubt anything will. Oh, hold on.
Hello.
About Helig. So you stole a grimoire from him. Hold up. Hold up. Let me save something. Cause I have a feeling
Greetings.
this might be a trap. Wait, hold on.
God's keep you.
Wait, what? What's up? Wait. Transplanting animal souls into human children seems like an odd solution. Complications will take. Oh, okay. The incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. Alright, let's do that chest. Examine the trunk more closely. I'm gonna unlock the trunk. Fire game to a feral gaze. Oh, there's a freaking monster in it. Whoa. Hold up. Nope, we're not gonna let that happen. Yeah,
Of course.
as I figured.
Hail and well met.
I'll finish him.
Hello.
Oh damn. Well, hold up. Actually, let me do something. Damn it. Do I want to lose 10 minutes? Let me see what happens if you give him the key first. Or does the key just instantly kill him?
All right then. Well met, friend.
Said you stole a grimoire from me. The wretched thing has an insatiable hunger for blood. Thank you for denying. Okay, no, it's the same. Alright. So he knows what's in the trunk. I was like, oh, what? Because if I gave him the key and he opened it and it killed him, that would have been very not great.
All right then.
Oh, is the key here? What's this? Ooh, what is this cage? Ooh. Oh. Wait, who's the leader then?
I'm here.
I guess head animaster is who? Who's the head animaster? Oh, here. Oh.
Hey.
Head warden. Oh, who the hell is this? Wait, he's in the statue? It's been a time since a watcher has... Oh, he knows you're a watcher immediately, graced these halls. I am envious of your natural insights. Traveler, I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that brought you to my city? I could have... Ethomir groans and no stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. Your odds with the leaden key as well? I don't like what they stand for. Hold on. If you have been able to discern what precisely they do stand for, I would have been fascinated to hear it. Just not a collection of cowards trying to hold back the tide because it frightens them, it seems to me. You have some idea. I won't know until I've met them. It would be unwise to consider anyone above suspicion. Our resident animators. I'm curious as to how you've come to be in your current state. And the statue, you mean? Well, he laughs. I was old, and it seemed wrong to me. A lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery, only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that I am quite sure. To live on as part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple, as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts there. Now and again, one of our animasters will humor me and consult over some problem. But they are a jealous pair. Jealous breed. And are too often afraid to collaborate. If you're considering yourself, I can tell you it isn't for the easily born. About the Sanitarium. A history lesson? This is a rare pleasure. Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution as Darwood goes. This is our 94th year. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. One of the worst was that those born with, shall we say, ill-favored souls came to populate its street in droves. Thus, the Sanitarium. Brackenberry was a natural fit. It was growing, but it was also a lot of money. There was also a lot of money back then. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion and animacy, much like today. So much progress has been lost to the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But in time it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then we have been at the forefront of animacy's resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you pardon my pride. Today it's, well, I can't say it's exactly the same. There has been some push to shut us down. It comes from Darwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand. So it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animacy at a hearing before the Duke. Absurd as it sounds, if it does not go well, it could be the end of animacy in Deerwood. I fear Avar may be swayed by all this unrest. Irrational though it may be, we shall see. Did you know about Make-A-Wings? Oh, okay, Belisage. Wow. Gotta talk to all the animancers. Killer? No. Okay, so the serrated leaves are fine. Oh, so she gave him the... So she gave him the poison one. Well, that's not great. Alright, well, we still have to find out who's in here right now. What the hell is this? It's probably a patient. Well, one of the main quest things is in here. Should I wait until... Will the guards let me through now?
Certainly. Hey.
I never thought I'd be taking orders from a talking statue. Well, how do I get in there?
Good day, stranger.
Is anything unusual? You must be joking. This is a sanitarium. Nothing is unusual. Nothing is usual down here. Although I must, now that I think of it, the station seem more agitated lately. But they're Cademan Azo's responsibility, not mine. Oh, Azo, huh? Alright, I don't have the key. I guess I'll go talk to the statue, Kayla.
You must gather your...
The patients are more agitated, huh?
Hail, traveler!
Oh, hold up. He seems a friendly enough guy. Let's see. Here, Drudowski. Question the animators about suspicious activity. Well, isn't that all of them? Are there any more? Oh, this one? Oh, maybe he has to be in the...
Hail,
oh, there we go. Audmer. Oh. Is there any suspicious? Downstairs is where the more esoteric research is done.
Welcome.
Alright, oh, he's
Welcome.
the freaking PR guy.
Good day to you.
Alright, well,
Hey,
we have to go back downstairs now? Hold up. What happened? No. Was it completed? Nope, one day. Oh. Whoa, she gets experience. That's cool. Spoils await in the treasury. Oh, I'm gonna see it one more time. Well, I would rather travel the city some more before I do one of the main quests. We still have to go back into the catacombs and kill that necromancer guy.
howdy do. God's key.
Okay. Alright, let's see. There's clearly more back there. But I don't see anyone else. I can't get freaking... Hold on. Oh, hell, Ripley.
Hail, traveler.
Ripley. I'm just Master Azo's assistant. He know more about that, but he's in the middle of an experiment. I mean, busy with some patients. That's not a sentence you want to be hearing. Not now. Cause Azo busy. Oh, head wording, don't me. But yeah, he's, you know, a statue now. What do you do here? Note from Azo. Uh-oh. Can I lockpick it without repercussions or no? Let me see. What is this? A pale lady. Subject is female, mid-40s, awakened to a past life as a serial murderer, which now frequently emerges as his soul's dominant personality. Subject vacillates between violence and superior depression resulting from guilt of past misdeeds. Weak candidate for present research. Subject is a male, approximately early 30s, power of speech absent, presumably as a result of the overfragmentation of his soul. As such, he is the ideal subject for present research. However, experimentation has caused severe pain, induced panic, and I have had to enlist the aid of the guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. Subject's male, mid-20s, displays acute dissociation and paranoid delusional tendencies. Dangers of working with the subject preclude possibility of further use in present research. Subject is approximately 17 years of age, admitted for episodes of catatonia, followed by occasional violent outbursts. Initial analysis of soul revealed severe fragmentation and essence deficiency. Said deficiency all but eliminates the possibility of utilizing the subject in present research.
Hey. I shall be discreet.
Okay, well, we gotta go talk to, we should tell Statue Man, I guess? That one of his guys is up to some suspicious shit.
Well met, friend.
I find records that Azo may be running some questionable experiments. Experiments? Caveman Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Caveman. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I am granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on the matter. And I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough trouble as it is. Alright, we're going into the asylum. Wow, they actually put the asylum
must gather your
into the middle of these quests. Interesting. Ooh. Now we're already at 32 minutes. Right. Let's go. Probably need some more healing later, but that's fine. Where everyone says you can go in. Be careful in there. How did they know? He's a freaking statue. Does he have telepathy too?
Hey.
Is he just Professor X? He must be visiting someone. What about this Animaster? Bet what they did. What happened to Azo? It was an accident. He's said to be one of the brightest in Darwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought him needed to seek treatment. People say it was ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash. Even he was a bit of a showman. He loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't the one to speak of his work. Figured his colleagues might have tried to steal it. He told me he figured a way to create a soul. Not a soul, mind you. Exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. God knows that's what we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies and no one drew gifts? Boys. Oh. Then the next day he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard. Then he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him. But I'm glad they're letting him treat people. Passion. No. Lost my husband and both boys in the Saints War. My partner. The legacy took her before she was ever mine. I made do. What else can you do? I moved into a tiny place no one was gift. Got by mending clothes on the kindness of strangers when I had to. But I was surviving, the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then one day this noble woman comes in, wants this fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing. This shade of blue I'd never seen before. Only I had. I looked at it, and it reminded me of something. I had what they call an awakening. I remember being a noblewoman myself in another life. People doting over me, men doting over me. Me, the best food, the most beautiful home, all the things you never dream of, they were mine. It was poison, knowing that. All those things I had that I never have in this life. It did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls in my little room seemed to close in around me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. So I came here. It was that or break into an estate and start ordering servants around. It seemed like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me. But I can't get past it. And I start to wonder, did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what terrible thing must I have done to deserve it? We'll get there again one day. Not in this life, then in another. Strange part is, I think even the best wouldn't be good enough for me anymore. I think it must have gone to the point when I was that noble lady. Well, she was useful. What the hell is this guy, flesh construct?
Of course.
There's a lot of patience. Alright, probably don't want to have some attacking me. Children they keep down here. Whoa, does he control the flesh constructs? Are they going to turn all against me? Okay, I'm clearly supposed to get past this guy, right? No. This does not... Whoa, what is this?
Keeping an eye out.
Nothing. This doesn't lead anywhere? I guess not. Seems like there's clearly a false door here. I don't know how to get through it though. This place isn't very big. Alright, I love it.
Hey.
Oh wait, oh no, it just goes. We'll keep our distance. White in that cell back there. We've had incidents when people got close. Alright, well we're caved in a room full of zombies. That's not great. And flesh golems. Oh wait, he could talk? So many. This place is bigger than I thought. Is there another lower level? Oh, I see experiments. That's probably where he is. Let's check this out first. Alright, let's check up there first. Oh, nope, I need to go in there. Alright.
Hey.
Guess we gotta go in.
A simple test. A simple
No,
test.
lockpick. Oh. I guess not a simple test.
I can do that. A simple test.
Hold up.
A simple test. That's settled.
Ooh, unique light armor. What does this do? Whole part, huh? Blade Golan is said to have been blessed by the Lord of the Hunt himself, a human hunter showing skill with an arrow and bow and arrow beyond any seen before. Caught Galloway's attention one day. Galloway proposed a bargain. If the hunter could best him in a hunting contest, Galloway would present her with armor that would bestow upon her the power of a wolf. For a week, both hunters trekked their quarry through the woods, and when the contest was ended, the hunter had felled the most game. True to his word, Galloway presented her with the wolf heart, which gave her the crafty and evasive nature of his keepsake. Whoa. Okay, so it's really good light armor. It's for the hunter. Guess I should give it to that other lady. Got a level and up mechanics some more. Cadmanazzo.
What is the meaning of this?
Hold on. Well, maybe we should.
Hey.
What is it now?
You best call.
My answer is no. Whatever you're looking for, those... What is...
Heard you were demoted. Ethelmere hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved into an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If Animancers all followed the commands of their leader, where would we be? We'd all be as backwards and willfully ignorant as Reed Saris. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. Our leaders guide us, and without them we risk losing our way. If this man will strike off on his own, then let him fend for himself without the benefit of the Sanitarium. Surely there are other paths that don't include risking lives.
Indeed. Many lives have been spent in such pursuits, writing treatises and poems. But tell me this, how does one verify the truth of a poem? If some philosopher stumbled across the meaning of our existence, how would we know it from a false one? These are wasted lives. In Animancy there is progress. We are measurably closer to complete understanding because of our work, and that will be true until our work is complete. Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an Animancer, or it will be no one at all.
I have, yes. No point in lying about it, now that Ethelmere is involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was so very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would have meaning. Hold on. I've seen it.
Those are private! You have no right!
He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into his index finger, a growl simmering beneath his breath, and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
Well.
Hey.
I'll come back for this
simple
thing.
test.
Oh, damn it, I need 7. Alright, well, that's so much to freaking... That's so much to invest in. Alright, well. Time to talk to some patients, and... Maybe... Well, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. Is my face? Tell.
Hey.
Oh.
I'm here. Hey.
Oh, these are must be the worst of the patients. Graham. This man has the look of in his eyes of a hunted animal, and as you approach, he staggers backwards to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls if you can get him further from you. He cries out, a bizarre primal utterance like nothing you have heard. I need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are only half-formed, as though his tongue were cut out. They are impossible for you to discern, if indeed they are words at all. Those Animancers did that to him. You can see what comes of their meddling. Let's see. He looks at you uncertainly. Peer into Graham's soul. You're in your cell. A key turns. The door creaks open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else. In your mind is a single word, and the word is no. But it dissolves before it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall corner. You cry out. In darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown on your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He is in need of raw materials. They dismantled his work and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns a knob and you feel yourself begin to crack from within, and you can feel pieces of you torn away. like having your insides chewed by a horde of rats, and you are screaming a scream you can barely hear. Another night. Heavy footsteps outside your door, coming for you. You look through a slit in your door. The flesh giant, the artificial being now just outside, but facing left, facing the end of the hall. The boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses onto the floor like a shed snakeskin. The giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away, and leaves. Wait, can that kid possess bodies? Hold up. At the end of the hall.
Poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the cushioned seats and lush carpets. Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
I doubt the welfare. There are just as many who come here and be cured of, are cured of their ills. It's just hard to see. It's true, right? Like, you know, not everyone's gonna receive the same treatment. Alright, so something about the boy, right? A willowy adolescent boy stands in the center of his cell, gawkish and stoop-shouldered. He stares straight ahead. The occasional blink is only movement. It is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, dog-like eyes. In any state, the barrier between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. You close your eyes and edge forward towards the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden malice comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering, and straining for breath, as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, and already you feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds, the same stops every time, the misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You are rushing towards the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly you think to yourself, and you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem's shell and overtake the soul implanted within. Encircling it, suppressing it, and contained in this new vessel, you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down the corridor, unheeded by the other constructs, and scrutinized only by wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad, coming in at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers, and perverse implements of animacy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings were pulled past you, and perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl. But this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous, unlike the others. This one has no soul of its own. The man speaks, and the crowd applauds with an enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. Bear witness, he says, and he pulls a lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow. The crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as a crystal globe fills with a radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens a valve, and the glow crawls through a tube along a length of wiring, a copper wiring that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his orchestra periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look like how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up at the crowd. "Behold," he says, but there is obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly, you take a plodding step forward, and then another, and then another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable of, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. How do you feel? He asks at a volume meant for the crowd, and this is the feeling. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down on the surface of the machine and again, drawing panic screams from the crowd. By the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper functions. It merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animacy now? Okay, so this person was leading that guy's research astray and messing with his machine. You are pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders, and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you've seen before, expansive, with a tall device encasing an Adra monolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You yanked suddenly back, and the once catatonic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistaking now that the soul of the man who caused your awakening, that gazes out from that borrow husk. A watcher. I believe we share a common past, just looking for some answers. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant, and it seems that, for that moment, that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look, your hunger. Hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face there is no malice, only the dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly he slumps forward. Oh, we gotta fight the golem. Oh, he's gonna jump into all of them? Oh, whoa, he opens all of the cells. Oh, crap. That's not good. Okay, okay, okay. So many of them. All right. Okay, I need more healing. What can I do? Hold up. Alright, I need to summon some freaking... I need to summon some allies of my own. Oh wow, she's... Oh, that's not good.
Hey.
Hold up. Necrotic Lance, maybe? Alright, I need to heal. Whoa, what the hell is this? Why did they turn into freaking animals? I mean, necrotic alliance somebody. Probably this one. More healing for everybody? That was a pretty,
Great.
I'm ready.
Hey.
oh, the boy just... What is this?
Hey.
Oh, what the hell?
Hey.
Alright. Have they all gone mad? Oh god, there's more. Alright, well, can I take a rest while I'm in here? Is it ready? Nope.
You're not getting...
Oh, there, man. Serious.
Leave it to me! For Anthony!
Oh, level up? Yeah, this is my first playthrough. I've never played this game before. Total survival? Bonus movement's not bad. Sure. Well, oh wait, no. That requires 9 points. I think everyone can benefit from survival. Lore isn't that great. Because the activate scrolls thing is not, it's not super amazing. I'm gonna put some more on survival, probably. God, what the hell is up with that face, man? Nah. This was a Kickstarter game. My son, do you see your sisters across the moon? What does this do? Oh, that's pretty cool. You get just summon 2 will-o-wisps. Catch you. Causes to become terrified. Oh, these aren't the passives. These are the ones that you spend. Charming? I don't think charm is that useful. Okay. I'm just gonna do the summon. Probably better. Beloved spirits. What does this do? Ancient passive must be chanting. Modifies ancient memory. Do I have ancient memory? Utility? I don't know how great the utility is. What's the one that gives you better for weapons? Blunderbuss is part of Ruffian? Oh no, the Arquebus is Soldier. Gunner. Oh! Well, you could... Yeah, I mean, I want one person to have all the mechanics, so that's probably the priest guy. Alright, so what does the weapon soldier do? +6 accuracy. Is +6 accuracy better than the 20%? This basically gives 20% increased attack speed, right? Marksman. I'll just take the weapon focus. I'll take the gunner. You know what? Take the gunner. Done. Let me modify his chants too. Can you repeat them?
Yes?
Can you just, hold on. How long is the chant? Hold on. You just keep it going on forever? Hold up. Oh. Okay, you can make it like this long. That's fine. Alright. Yeah, the chanting thing is a very weird mechanic that I'm not quite sure. Athletics probably for him and survival. Well, you gotta have accuracy, right? Like, the bullet doesn't matter if it doesn't land. Survival or athletics? Well, second wind is really important for tanks, so I guess I'm putting in athletics. Wary defender, what does this do? Nope, don't care. Bonus knockdown. Oh, hell yeah, knockdown 3 times instead of 2? That's awesome. Going with that. Oh, actually, he shouldn't be using that sword when he's fighting non-spirit entities. So let's switch that sword out. See if I find rapier. Let's swap that out. Because this thing's only super good against spirits, I think. It also makes you super weak against magic, but you know what? It looks cool. Fuck it. Why not? What do I do? Lore, mechanics, survival. Lore is sometimes tested for freaking conversation things, so Amander's not your main character. Mortifications of the soul. I don't quite like the... Should I just get the... Superior deflection's not bad. Vulnerable attack. Minus 20% attack speed, but it makes your hits do more damage. Marksman gunner. I might just take the fortitude. Fortitude is just straight hits, right? I'm assuming. Let me see what this says. Oh no, internal physical. Poison disease. Okay, that's not the greatest. Fortitude makes it sound like it's just general defense, man. That makes no sense. Body control. Oh, unstoppable. I think I'll just take superior deflection then. Yep.
Hey.
Alright, should we rest? We're not super worn out, but we are stuck in a sanitarium whose patients have apparently rioted. Hey. So, okay, we're gonna go find that guy, because, yeah. Where's the guy? Dude, it's gone crazy. What have you done? You've been experimenting on patients against their wills, mangling their souls. I have witnessed it with my own eyes. How could you possibly? Look, it had to be done. Ethomir and the others, they took everything from me. Everything when I was this close. I had to know. Had to know where I failed, and why. Imagine the value if I succeeded. I had something that could make all these hollow infants into something like a real person. And with a few more patrons and a few years' research, who knows? No one has come that close with the legacy. It's why I have to continue. Why I have to risk everything here working in secret. It's why you have to lie to Ethomir for me. Tell him you've cleared me of suspicion. Huh. Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, what level are you? Dude. I mean, can I tell him he got manipulated? Because it was someone else that messed with his research. His research was, like, working, right?
I trust that you'll do what's right for Deerwood. Don't hold everyone accountable for my mistakes.
It's the same fools responsible for the cruel salvation thought they solved the problems too. A few years of study in a research lab doesn't give someone the moral authority to tinker with souls. Alright, well, we have to tell freaking... We have to tell that dude, we have to tell our statue friend. Oh no, never mind. They've all gone crazy. Oh shoot, did they attack the patients too? Oh damn. Alright, alright. Oh, 12? It only goes to level 12? That's interesting. I didn't realize that you couldn't upgrade your stats permanently afterwards.
Of course.
Like your base stats are just set. Yeah. Still won't let the wicks out.
Hey.
We'll let the dogs out. Let's go.
Alright,
We gotta quell this freaking prison slash asylum riot.
Hey.
I mean, if you play, I totally thought this was made by the people who made the Shadowrun games, because the style is very similar. But nope, it's not them. Alright, now I hope you didn't invest too much into these flesh golems, guys, because it's about to get blown up. All the guards are probably dead too, aren't they? Yeah, somebody has to take responsibility for all this. Like, you got all the freaking guards killed. Oh wow, there's a lot. Let's mess them all up.
That's it.
That's it. Alright. Alright, we gotta get rid of the freaking wicks.
Hey.
Right, like, this goes beyond, oh, I made some mistakes. It kinda got a whole bunch of people killed. Right, a spiritual use. What is this? Oh. Alright. Oh, there's a lot of money in here for some reason. Alright. Has this spread upstairs? Doesn't seem like it. Alright. Whoa, actually, what about the other guys? Wait. The head warden must be told. Who the hell is the head warden? Getting out of here isn't safe anymore. Alright. Time to go snitch to your boss, who's the statue. Let's do this. What the blazes happened down there? You were given permission to ask questions. Yeah, these all sound crazy. Finish your explanation, Ethomir breaks the silence. I have read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief, and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest that they are all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again and could be of some real use in our time of need. I fear what the future may hold for this place. I am grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before there was loss of innocent life. What? There was a lot of loss of innocent life, so I don't know what you were talking about. What a Bezo. He was only trying to help the patients. That's true. Oh man. Yeah. I should have known better than to isolate him. Of course he would resort to deception. The wiser thing would be to allow his experiments, with close oversight of course. A mind like his must be allowed a chance to create. It's very much like modern science, right? There's a lot of people afraid of their research being stolen and stuff like that.
Hey.
But you know, that's just the way our society. It happens a lot. It's not like, you know, people don't have their research stolen. Freaking Edison made a fortune off just buying patents off other people, right? All right. Oh, wait, what?
Hail and well met.
Alright, you got a message for me. You are summoned to Hatred House, where Lady Webb wishes to meet with you as soon as possible. Not much you can do in these parts without Lady Webb knowing about it. At least that's what I've heard. Guess it's true. Tell me about her. Do you not know Lady Webb? She's well. No one's seen her exactly in a long time, but she's the mistress of Dunwood Row. Has been for as long as anyone can remember. She's supposed to be old, older than anybody, and she never leaves her room. Some say she's wasted away in just a pile of bones kept animated by dark magics. She's still at it, best anyone can tell, learning things, keeping us safe, pulling the strings behind the throne too, it's said. Has a ring of ciphers doing her bidding, telling her everything that goes on. You do wrong in this country, before you go asking the gods for forgiveness, best you ask Lady Wet first. Where's Dunmer Row? Whole mess of ciphers runs out of Hadred House. They make it their business to keep the peace, but they don't like you to see them do it. Problems in the city have a way of going away on their own, and when that happens, you can make a pretty good guess as to why. Where is it? It's just over there. Alright, well, this sounds important. Let's go. Who's over here? Ooh. They got so many of these. I'm pretty sure all these stories are like Kickstarter or whatever. But oh, whoa! It's the main antagonist.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
My mind has been elsewhere. Oh, I wish to leave the order.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
Family is not taking my faith well.
The trials of faith can be without mercy, separating us from those we love, leaving no
Well, it makes sense that
easy
you have
answers.
no free will in these things because, well, this is a past life, right?
You have failed no one. The gods would not ask you to abandon your family. It is your family that has failed you. Yet they do not allow you the same. They would have you trade your deepest beliefs for their affections. If you allow this, you will gain their acceptance, but lose their respect.
So my past life self joined the cult. That's not great.
Hold firm to your convictions. Continue your work. Believe in the power of the gods to reach all people. Your family will find them on their own. As long as you worship the gods, you will never be without family.
This is some pretty evasive
you
shit, man.
Choose between the two.
We stay with us. Well, can't say no.
Hey.
Gotta say yes. Let's continue. Oh, it's a big ass building. Don't agent. Oh hey, Corin, huh? I was looking for this guy. How did you know? Is this affidavit real? Signed by you. I remember Penhelm, a preying peacock of a man, his mouth dry and hands moist when I told him he was the sole descendant of an Aedaran general, one who'd fought against Hadred's rebellion. He scans the affidavit, a forgery, and not the first I've seen. But I have no time for the knights and their obsessions. Bring this to the Commander Cleaver and show him the seal. If he compares it with another, he should be able to spot the difference. Doom a man for the soul the gods gave him? Seems rather unfair. Oh, Alof's in the same boat, right? Of course he has some sympathy. This is you can use some help. So many secrets and trails in this city. You have to, but turn a corner to find a fresh trace of something stolen or someone missing. Fortunately, we haven't the time to investigate them all. I'm supposed to be working on other matters, but my mind still lingers on a few recent cases. Curse of a cipher, to be ruled by the whims of curiosity. One case or three, depending on how you look at it. 3 weeks and a disappearance at the end of each. Some might call it coincidence, I call it a clue. Lady Webb knows you, trusts you, so I shall trust you too. So long as our interests are aligned. I'll look into it. Copper Lane, Odrus, Gift, Blackenberry, of course, to talk to ones who reported the disappearances. The only ones who know enough to care. Laura, Oli, and Eklund, who's missing. 2 men, 1 woman. Landry, Kendall, Cora. Well, gotta go Salty Mass. Brackenberg, Cora. Sister of Laura, one of the merchants at Copperland Bazaar. Find any leads? Be animancy related. Researchers always need subjects, the less scrupulous types in particular. Seems too risky for the Sanitarium, but one never knows. I wouldn't put it past. Wow, Alof hates them now. Oh.
Greetings.
Political intrigue, huh? Okay.
Hey,
Is there anything else to?
all right then.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be stealing stuff in the house of a bunch of psychics, right? Nope, nothing here. All right, well we gotta go upstairs. Gotta go fast. The second one's has the second one come out yet? I know they're working on the second one. Who the hell do I talk to? Oh. Oh wow, we get to meet the head honcho herself. This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers. Their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age. A gossamer veil over pale blue veins. Ink splotches and candle burns dot and stripe her hand like a quilt patterned after some great indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aethys look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that
And where is
escape
that?
me.
A meager trick given Kid was.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble? A personal matter that has you tracing the footsteps of the leaden key. Must be some problem you have. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend. Which
Oh,
I
so she doesn't know who you are
means
exactly.
We have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the leaden key? The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon.
Oh, we finally get a
Grand
name
Master
to
of
put to the
leaden
face.
key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Aora has ever known. Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in a ceremonial
Wait,
garb,
can she read
it
her mind?
seems. Must have been a special occasion. More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The leaden key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the
So
one
he's
who
immortal.
created it.
Okay.
What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never
Well,
one to let
here's
rules
some,
get in the
antagonism.
way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul,
That's how you possess the
and he is
kid and the
known
flesh
to take
goals.
possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problem.
What do you want from me?
Keep me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will
It's
not
pronounced
stop.
Dunreed. Yeah, I have to listen to the voice acting to know how these
Whatever
things are
it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will
is this
surely
Madam Web
point
from
you to
Spider-Man?
Theos. In
They do
return,
share a lot of things
I
in
will
common.
share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can. If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. Well, let's hear it.
Oh.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious.
So they know each other
He did not aid you as
personally?
you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if
Alright,
this
I'm
is
assuming I have to do
connected
the
to their
three-man
other
plots and then come back to
activities,
her.
we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
How do you so much?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered
Was the
his
name a
tracks
reference to
far
something? Because
too
one of the
well.
villains, the god
His
villains in
manipulations
Tales
the course
of...
history
That's so
are
funny.
lost to
Fantasia.
time now,
It's also known
though
Theos.
I believe they were many.
He's also like a god.
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know. If you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to
Yeah,
their
well, they have a
founder, who will take
immortal,
matters into his
I don't know,
own hands
reincarnating
when
guy as their
necessary.
leader.
And he
has
does not
freaking animancy
fail.
powers.
Yes. All the things there are to know in this world, and you ask me about work. Deerwood is a rebel country. Conflict is in its blood. If you think a few guards posted in our cities keep chaos at bay, you are very new to town indeed. We are Deerwood's cipher investigators, of course. But what we really are is its last barrier against anarchy. People are more at ease when they believe they are watched over by someone more enlightened than they are. It pacifies them. So that is the image we foster. And we do try to be enlightened for their sake. The knowledge we gather here is Deerwood's standing army in many ways. We learn what's vital and we act on it while Deerwood sleeps, blissfully unaware of the terrifying truths
Well,
all
they have a lot
around
of...
them.
We kind of do that with the FBI and CIA,
I
right?
wish I could tell people the things I know sometimes. But the truth is, I don't think many of them could bear it. Me? I started this place. In a different time, under a different duke. I impressed the Duke with my research and my work ethic, and he became possessed of the notion that I would be ideal to lead a secret network
It's
of
time to
gifted
ask, how old are you?
investigators. I don't know how such an idea got into his head.
We were raised without a shred of decency.
I lost count ages ago. Such a strange thing to celebrate, getting closer to death. Oh, I've had my share of work done to prolong my existence, if that's what you're wondering. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not done here. There are things I still wish to learn. And I'll be the effigy if I let Bereth carry me off before I'm through. There was a time when I considered enlisting the theorems of Pondgrum to extend my life indefinitely. I found the thought of devouring my political enemies to sustain my own life greatly
Pangram's
appealing.
thing creates a whole bunch of
I must have gone
zombies.
soft with age. If you are hoping I can look at your hand and tell you whom you should marry, you can just wipe that notion from your mind. I do not know what will happen tomorrow. That is what I pay spies
Oh, so
for.
she's not a watcher.
Being a cipher is not unlike being a watcher. You notice more about what is already there. Many can hold an object and know where it's been, or peer into the thoughts of people around them. They can also sometimes affect those thoughts, but that would be unethical, of course. A tiny, talented few pick up so much about the world around them, they can get images of things to come.
Well, then you have the
These are
paradox about
fleeting
free will and the future,
unreliable.
right? Can you influence it?
Who said I was talented? I don't. Least not that I can trust. And with me, it's only ever about one thing anyway. A quiet day at home.
Yeah.
There was. He believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned that way, my husband. We saw the world very differently, he and I. But he was good to me while he lasted. Yes?
Nope, we're good.
Try your best not to die out there.
I'll give it a shot.
Hey,
Hey, level ups. Alright, Durance, you're gonna get even better at mechanics. Ah, damn it. Well, on the bright side, I can open those chests now. Or that one chest. Interdiction. Gotta get those passives first, man. Here we go. Ooh, plus 10 accuracy. Sword, arquebus. Problem. He doesn't use a sword or an arquebus, which doesn't make any sense. Can he... What might get? Oh, a lot of these aren't that great. Painful interdiction. So wait, what happens? Oh. So what does this do? They're both interdiction now. Brilliant radiance. Burn damage from the holy radiance. Vessels take increased burn. Oh, it's the healing thing. Alright, alright. So this basically just increases his... No, that's the heal though. I use the interdiction far more. I'll take the weakened. Yep. Anyone else? Alright, Alof. Oh. God, those eyebrows, man. Hopefully next game you get some better character modeling, cause whew, it's not great. Should I just keep going lore? I don't know. I feel like everybody should have some survival. If only for the DR. Yeah, just take the lore. It's fine. Arcane Dampener. Oh, it was a level 3 spell. Crackling Bolt? Fast. Oh, it's Chain Lightning. It's freaking Chain Lightning. This one's not bad, actually. It gets enemies off of you. Or... I kind of like Chain Lightning, though. I'll take the displaced image. That's fine. It's if you got someone on you, you gotta get them off. Oh, here we go. Arcane Veil. Oh, it's 2 per rest. Penetrating Blast. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. This thing makes his normal attack pierce through armor. Useful. Very useful.
Hey.
Alright, let's go pick that lock. Do I have any more quests in this area? Oh, we still have to investigate the disappearance. How much time we got? Got 10 or 20 minutes. Whoa, penthouse. Haha, give me the affidavit. I've done nothing to you. What does this mean to you? Are you serious? This is my career. I've labored years for it. It all hangs on some coincidence of a past life. Any dear Winden, rich or poor, can aspire to a position in the Crucible Knights. Anyone can rise to the rank of High Justice. Except for us, for those of us born with the wrong soul. Tell me that's reasonable. Yeah, except you booted out one of your, what do we call it? You booted out, that other guy and took his freaking armor, and now you're gonna beg? Come on. What truth? That was over a century ago. Oh, don't be a fool. We're in public. Oh, we're fighting? Okay. You asked for it, man. Time to get wrecked. Okay, everyone, go fight him. And then you knock down one of them. Oh, they're all noobs because they're Novia shits or whatever. What can I do? No, I guess I'm just hitting everyone with this shit. Anything else? I have more spells? I might as well cast them, mainly because I'm like... Oh, when you're all grouped together like that, feels good. Oh, but I need healing. Heal up, baby. Wait, no. Hold on. Oh wow, well he went down. Let me see, what can I do? You punch someone with a book.
Hi.
He attacked me, man. Don't
I shall deal with this one.
Everyone wombo combo. That's it. Loot the corpse in public. Yo, give me some of that gold. Delicious.
Hey.
Oh, I took the breastplate, right? Yeah, we're
Following your lead.
Hey.
Hey, look, man. He attacked me. Alright, you guys. Everyone saw it. This man accosted me. Alright, what's there to see in here? House Domino, Raymond Manor, the Charred Barrel, Copper Lion. Well, alright. You know what? I'll do the unlock the lock picking thing off screen. There's no need for me to. What is this? Is another inn? This place sure has a lot of inns. Thirstwind. Okay. Did she send you to run me out of town? You can tell her I'm not going anywhere without that medallion. I told Sarah I wouldn't let her sell it. If that's what you hear about, then save yourself the trouble. Not after you, but maybe I can help. Sarah was a courtesan over at the Salty Mast in Uldra's gift. We've been working together for over a year now. I find a noble with more money than sense, fill him up with liquor, and then send him her way. They have a good time, Sarah takes her fee and a little extra. 100 coppers here, a trinket there, It's a bounty for us, and these lords and ladies never notice anything missing. That's dishonest. It's surviving. Those nobles have more wealth than anything than they can hang on to. Why should they keep it? Anyway, we always split the bounty until a week ago. She takes the necklace off some noble. It's an Angwiffin medallion, damn near priceless. The relic is sacred to my clan, but she won't part with it for any sum I can afford. And even if I wanted to, I can't go home without it. Tell me more about your situation. What makes this medallion so important to you? I grew up in Ir Glanfef with the Shattering Spear clan. We Glanfeffins have protected Angwiffin ruins for thousands of years. It's the one duty the gods asked of us in exchange for the freedom to live as we please. But treasure hunters looted the ruins in our territory. We left the wilds we dwelt for generations. Most of my clanmates scattered to towns around the Darwood and probably live on crusts of bread. He looks at his embroidered robes with disgust. Restoring this medallion to the ruins could earn us the gods' forgiveness. The Shattering Spear could go home. This is all rather fascinating. A single medallion to earn the gods' favor and so return home. It rather reminds me of our story I heard somewhere. Is that a reference to something? I can't think of anything. The Holy Grail? Maybe? I don't know. How about Sarah? She wasn't important to much, but she's done what she had to to escape it. She's a good friend. Without her, I'd probably be living hand to mouth like the rest of the Shattering Spear. But this isn't about her or me. It's about 40 people in my clan, the way of life we've held onto for generations. Seems like you've done well enough for yourself. It was this or scrape by in the gutters like the rest of my clan. But I'd give it all up for that medallion. I offer to. But it's worth more than anything I got, and Cero knows it. I still don't know why I can't just take your money and go back. Of course I could, but I'm not talking about logic and practicality. A community isn't a place. It's a connection to history and meaning. Wow, for someone who's like basically a pimp and a cut purse, you're quite into that stuff. Alright, like an anchor. Defending the ruins for the gods have given us a purpose. Without that, we're adrift. Does that make any sense to you? Yes. You know it's like how to care for something. Alright, fine. We'll see. Whatever you do, please don't hurt her. Oh, you have to go through... Damn it! That means I have to go through that first lady's quest in order to get to this other quest lane? Oh hey. My god. Yep, we're just gonna have, wait, Anton. No, it's you. That was supposed to be kind. Oh. Hard Skarrigan.
How do you do?
It's my retirement. Used to be a warehouse. It's a cartographer with the Duke. Oh. How much does a room take? Wow, they don't even have a common room. That's interesting.
Good day, stranger.
Anything else? I don't think so. Hey, you guys got a freaking... Can I go backstage, talk to the understudy? No. Alright, now I gotta go get some medallion for some... Wonderful. Wait. There's an upstairs and a downstairs. This tavern's doing quite well. Oh, whoa, we got a bandit leader right here? Alright. I might be about to get wrecked. Yo, 0 survival? Damn. Oh, she's all in on athletics. Critical focus. Modifiers critical. Faith and compassion. Oh! Faith and conviction. Alright, so this is just about her, slaves of devotion. That's pretty strong. Critical focus. Zealous focus. Alright, let's just take that then. We got to fight with bandits one more time? Alright. One more. We just have to slaughter some bandits inside their lair.
Hey.
I mean, they're straight up bandits. Wait, what? I can't do anything to them? That's so weird. That, like, he's a known bandit. Nope, can't do anything to this guy. Alright. Get that XP. What's up here? What to just? Nope. Actually, who was I supposed to talk to about the missing person? I forgot who it was. Merowith. Who's this? Best we keep it that way. Liberator about certain goods.
Hey.
Alright, nothing here. Okay, let me look at the quest thing. Where is it? There it is. Speak with the three cup. Okay, there you go. Ekliga. Yeah, problem. I don't know where that person could possibly be. I'm just gonna have to search this whole place until,
All right then.
Oh, that's the two I left. Ooh. Okay, thanks. Oh, nonsense! The guy who and the girl are the ones who killed her husband, and they ran. And apparently the benevolent thing was to just let him, let him get away with it. All right. Raymond Manor. Okay. There's too many of these. Okay, they're all outdoors. Alright. Thank you. Well, I do still have to tell that guy that there's like a burglary in his house or whatever. There was gonna be a burglary in his house. Let's find out. Alright, where's the Lord? I gotta go tell him that. Lint Raymond. Or never reads to me. He's always busy. Damn, we got some daddy issues here. Is he upstairs or is he here? I don't imagine he's in the kitchen. Raymond's servant. He's probably upstairs. Oh no, Lord Raymond's right here.
Hail, traveler.
Okay, here's your...
Gods keep you.
Is that so? Let me see. Does house in the city great service? What does that mean? Oh, a pandered lad, if there ever was one. What do we do now? They were once an eminent and admired house. Now they're just a den of thieves. Back in the Deer Woods colonial days, the Domerals were respected members of the ducal court. Which is why it was so surprising they remained loyal to Ader during the rebellion. Okay. So there, if the what would a good analogy be? It's if they were loyal to Britain during the Revolutionary War, essentially. What's this important about this gem? The heart of the White Marsh is a nearly flawless diamond. It's also the patrimony of the dwarves of White Marsh. It was seized by an Adian lord. Dwarves haven't forgotten about it. Now the knights and the dozens are both bidding for it to make peace offerings to the dwarves. Whichever party buys it, the dwarves will make useful allies for Defiance Bay, especially these days. Oh, can I take it? Just steal that shit? Alright. Just go talk to the missing person and probably call it for now. Gotta go to work soon. Oh, just take it out. Bam. Well, hey, what's this? Predicted floor touch. Astronomer's work. We got some more. Alright. Go for it, Kagani. You're out of there. See? Keep your that's a nice system. Keep your other guy busy. Oh, here we go.
How do you do?
Oh, she's looking for it. Let's investigating Kendall's disappearance. That little Orlin finally got serious about the case. Don't know this. That's someone's on. She rolls her eyes. Come on, I'm a main character of an RPG. That makes me a very important person. So tell me about Kendall. What's the tale? He's a pretty young lad. Not the brightest of the bunch, but always pleasant company. Oh, so she's into him. Alright. Oh, he's trying to be an actor. Somehow he managed to get in with an acting trope. A week ago, came back to my house for a bit of fun, eh? Bunch of actors, except for that woman. That woman with her long, willowy legs and slender arms. Always came around wearing... What was her name? Didn't know this. Alright. So... I'm assuming we have to investigate this person?
Hey.
She's supposed to be an actor, right? So, possibly, she's got some clues if we go around the thing. Acting troupe. So
Hey.
that might be, maybe in the inn, right? I don't know, where else is the theater supposed to be? Oh. I'm gonna... Should I just call it? Let me see. It won't matter. Alright, just gonna go do the... Get the freaking... Go unlock that chest I didn't have. I'll call it here. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. My Monster Hunter copy's probably not coming for a while, so, yeah. I'll probably make some progress in this game. See ya.